All right, welcome to One Nation of Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. Yes, we finally got on here. I tell you what, my poor son-in-law, he was fighting hard to get on here to be with you guys tonight. So I'm not even going to waste any time. I'm going to bring him on right now. Oh, it's so good to see you. You've
Oh,
had
it's so good to be here. Like, thank you. I was very stressed trying to get my computer to finally
just
work.
a little, just a little.
Oh, just had to give her the old smackaroni a little bit,
Yeah,
Once you smack it around a little bit, it finally starts cooperating. I said, "Look, you're gonna make Natalie mad, and I don't want to make Natalie mad.
we don't
So
want to make Natalie mad, no,
you better start working, or she's gonna come for you." And it
because
immediately started working.
if we would make Natalie mad, she might want to play volleyball where she would spike it and hit us in the face. The other thing, archery, bow and arrow, that's never good
Okay, I
when.
was like, the only one that I was really scared of was archery and golf. She could smack me with a club,
Yeah,
but you went for
yeah.
volleyball. Like, you chose the weakest out of the
Well, no, I
two for
started. I started
violence.
with that because if you get
Okay,
hit in the face with a volleyball full blast, it doesn't feel
okay.
good, Jay. Your face just kind of like spreads as it hits it. So
You are not wrong. So listen up, One Nation. The Bald Eagle and I are super excited about tonight's episode. We've got a very special edition of One Nation, a Sports Locker magazine extra. If you've seen the newest magazine, our patriotic issue that was just issued, whoop whoop, on page 70, you would be very happy to turn to that page and look at an article about Miss Natalie Sommerer. That title is A Quiet Leader. And I'll tell you about that here in a second. It's one of my favorite quotes from that article. But, anyways, not only does she play volleyball, like Kirk was talking about, she's on the archery team, she's on the golf team. She also has a 4.0 GPA. She's involved with the Scholar Bowl, choir, math team, and she's on the game night committee. I gotta know what the best game is. I can't wait to ask.
yeah, that'd be
Uh,
good.
Now, let me tell you this. She also doesn't like spending a lot of time talking about herself. One of my favorite quotes from her article is, "I am more of a quiet leader. I know that in 5 or 10 years, not many people will remember my name, and that's perfectly okay. I don't want glory for myself. I just hope I have shown God's love and joy to the people I interact with." If that doesn't speak to her true nature and
No,
character, I don't know what else does. So, Natalie, I'm here to take you out of your comfort zone. I'm here to make you uncomfortable. Tonight is all about you. You are the star, you are the show. We are here to brag about you. And so, anyways, Dad, let's bring on the
let's
legend
let's do
herself.
it.
Come on.
Let's do it. Hey, Natalie,
There
how are
she
you
is.
doing?
Good.
Thank you for being so patient as we were, trying to get Jay to climb over the mountain and try to get,
It's all me.
everything booted up. So thank you for your patience.
Yeah, no problem.
He threw out a whole bunch of stuff that you were so busy with, but he doesn't even know the whole of all that right now either because we talked a little bit about before he came on that you work at two different jobs. So tell us a little bit about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so I'm a receptionist at a law firm in town 2 days a week, Clement Van Roslin and Schulte, and then I work at Schulte's also on the other days.
Jay,
I, I
time
mean,
management.
at this point, I just need to read her book. I'm sure you're writing one on time management and how to be successful in a million different things. I'd love to read it. I'm giving you some pretty good titles right now, but anyways, um, because I need advice. Like, this is crazy. You are such an epic person, and that is why we were so excited to have you on tonight. So thank you. And
Absolutely.
I know you don't find it, super enjoyable talking about yourself and being braggadocious, but that's why I'm here. I get to brag on you. So you're just gonna have to take that. I would love for you to tell our audience about all the different sports that you're involved in and how you got started in each one.
hmm So actually, my first sport I ever did was softball, which I started when I was like 3. Played out at the Brazito Lions Club until about 6th grade. because my parents were both in softball and baseball, and it's just kind of a family thing. And then I started archery in fourth grade. And I was little tiny fourth grade, and I was like a year younger than most fourth graders. Could barely pull the bow back on the lightest setting. But started in fourth grade, stuck with it for this will be my 9th year shooting archery. And then I started volleyball in 6th grade, which was also at school. And then golf is my new one. I started the end of sophomore year. They weren't sure they were going to have a team, even so. Our team is boys and girls together, but they weren't sure they were going to have a team. And one of my friends was playing, and I was like, you know what? Let's go for it. I'm going to try golf. Don't know anything about golf, but we'll go for it. So,
I love it.
golf.
You know what?
One of
I
the
got plenty of
easiest
time.
sports. Yeah, well, one of the easiest sports just to pick up and start. Sure, you never see people get mad playing golf. Yeah, right. I mean, that is such. How are you? Like, you're pretty amazing at everything else in your life. Was golf challenging, or did you kind of just start picking that up naturally?
yes, golf was challenging.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it was a learning process for sure. We started from zero.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I had only played baseball, and so I just could. It took forever for me to get out of the habit of trying to baseball
Oh,
swing that golf ball. So coming with some softball experience, I'm sure you might have struggled a little bit too.
Hey Jay, before you
yeah.
go on to the next question, I do want to point out real quick we got Miss Melanie Porter on watching tonight, and I wanted to give a quick shout out to her daughter Tristan, whose 20th birthday is today. We've had Tristan on the program here before, so
Oh, that's
happy
awesome!
birthday, Tristan.
Happy birthday, Tristan. Yeah, okay, I'll stop.
Okay, we
Anyways,
don't
you can
we
you can
want people to keep watching. Stop it.
you're not wrong. Look,
Okay.
you can just play that back for
Okay.
whenever she's back home, Melanie, you just go ahead and play that for her. She'll be very happy. Anyways, Natalie, back to you. I loved when you talked about volleyball because you talked about how it was the fuel for your competitive drive. So I would love for you to expound on that for our audience.
hmm So, my other two sports, archery and golf, are more, I think of as more of individual sports. I mean, obviously, I'm on a team still, and you're still competing against other schools, but it's more indirectly like you are trying to get the best score you can, and then your score goes up against other people. So it's more competition against myself most of the time, but volleyball is directly you're competing against other teams and other schools, and you have your team together with you. So that's, I guess, more of what like satisfies my competitive, like, playing stuff and playing against people and trying to win.
So I want to go right into that. So, you seem like a very nice person, and you've talked about how you honor God, and I mean you are a very nice person. So but I'm sensing something in this competitive drive with volleyball. Do you just smash people? Is that what the deal is?
Yeah, I get a little fired up in volleyball. Um, I think it helps though, because I am a very not confrontational person normally. So it helps that, you're on your side of the net and the other team's on the other side. It's not like basketball where you're up in people's face and,
Uh-huh. So you have the net to hide on the other side of, just in case
yeah,
they get a little out of hand, right?
yeah,
That's
Hey,
great.
I'm just glad she found a place to put her aggression out. Otherwise,
Yeah.
she would have turned it on to me, and I can't handle it. I'm a crier. I will
Well,
cry myself to sleep.
you were probably pushing her to the limit, as she was waiting for you to get on the program tonight. I don't know.
I believe it. I believe it. I had to do a quick hard reboot of the old computer, but she is up and running now, so I am
Awesome.
happy. Um, so I want to talk more about golf with this question. You kind of talked about how you got started. Um, how's the golf thing been going? How's the team? How's the individual? And then what was like? It's obviously fueled your challenge part of you enough that you want to keep playing. So I just kind of want to talk about golf.
Hmm. Yeah. So, like I said, our school doesn't have a separate girls team, so we play with the guys in the spring. So it's all of us together, which I actually really like because I was getting to play with more of my friends, and have encouragement when I first started out because I was, down at level 0, and there were people around me to play with me and stuff. But yeah, it's definitely challenging. Like I have to work at golf, a lot more than my other two sports. And it's also a challenge because we're playing with the boys, so we play back from the men's tees, which adds, a lot of yardage. Like I play on the reds during the summer, the women's tees move up, and I'm always like, oh, this is nice. I could get used to this. But then I'm like, no, better go back.
Yeah.
Better not get used to it.
That's great.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Hey Jay,
you know,
real quick. I saw that
thank you.
Ryan Olson is watching tonight, and I I've got something I want to talk about a little bit later about that guy and some of the things that you guys are doing right now. But I wanted to say a quick shout out to Ryan. I'm going to be talking about you later. Okay. All right.
Very
Go ahead.
good. I like that. Good tease. That was a good tease. So we've talked about how you're active in quite a few things academically as well. I'd love to hear about Scholar Bowl. I'm really interested in game night committee. To be honest, I got pretty
Yes.
excited when I read that too. So how are you able to maintain such a high level with your schooling? A 4.0 GPA, that's a big deal.
Awesome.
Mhm. Yeah, so honestly, I'm been blessed academically wise. I've never had, to like struggle too much in school. It's kind of my thing. Always been my thing. But it's definitely, especially in high school now, you still have to work at it and, put in the time, like in between all the other stuff whenever you can find the time, just being disciplined and making sure you're doing what you need to do every day so that stuff doesn't pile up. And um yeah. And then so I'm involved in Scholar Bowl too, which is, it's basically you sit in a room and answer questions, like not trivia questions exactly, but kind of, about literature, history, science, math, fine arts, sports. Sometimes those are my favorite ones. It makes me happy when I beat the boys to the sports questions.
Nice.
That's awesome. That reminds me of my daughter, the young lady that did the your photography section when they were in here
Hmm.
from Colorado, and I can always remember when Katie was trying to get involved in running distance, and she was tired in this race, and she took off really fast, and I told her before, do not go fast right at the beginning, right when they're going to go. Do not do it because everybody else is going to. You just run your pace. So as soon as the gun goes off, she's gone, just running as fast as she can. And I'm like, oh, Kate. I see her coming back and she's crying. She wants to stop. She doesn't. Dad, I just want to, she's hollering at me. And I said, it's okay, hon. This boy's getting ready to pass you. It's okay. Just keep, if you want to, whatever. When I said this boy's getting ready to pass you, she kicked it into another gear and went all the way to the finish line. And that boy did not pass her. So I know what you're talking about. I saw it in my own daughter. And I think that is awesome. Always bring it to the boys because they will not know what hit them. Right, Jay
Amen.
Gill?
Woman up. Woman up. I love it. Amen to that. Real quick before we head into a break, I did want to hear a little bit about game night committee. What is
Yes.
that, and what
Yes.
kind of
Hmm.
games are we playing? This sounds awesome.
Yeah, so we have game nights, like all school game nights, every couple months at school. So we'll have so game night committee is we plan them basically. So we'll have like games in the gym, volleyball, basketball, and then dodgeball sometimes. And then we'll also have
Nice.
other stuff like outside. We have nine square, which I don't know if everyone know what
Oh
that is,
yeah.
but it's four square in the air basically, and then Gaga Ball, and then we also have inside we have movies for people who don't want to play games, or we have card games, board games, stuff like that.
Very
Okay.
cool.
It's a blast. It's like the highlight of like the month sometimes. I love it so much.
I
Well,
was gonna ask how often is game night? Is that monthly then?
Yeah, every 1 to 2 months usually. Sometimes it's hard
Very
to
cool.
schedule it, with other sports and stuff, but
you've inspired me for a new game though, and I think this is something that you could really implement. You don't use the arrows that you use for competition, but something that has a little bit of softness on the end of it, but still somebody knows they got hit. But incorporate golf, archery, and volleyball all together in one game. I don't know how you do it. Maybe you're playing a volleyball game and you got people off in each corner hitting golf balls, shooting arrows. I mean, that would bring a whole new dimension to extreme sports, right, Jay Gill?
They're about to spike my ball. Whack! Shoot it with an arrow. Dad, you're
I don't
terrible.
know. Well, I would go watch that. I would go watch it.
All I'm saying is I would make sure Natalie's on my team. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. That is a must. All right. I'm sorry. I had to just do that. Okay, let's
That's
go
good.
ahead. Hey, before we go on, we got Miss Patty McFeeters is watching. So welcome, Patty. She's a faithful watcher. So before we go any further, Patty, you're going to enjoy the rest of this interview, but we're going to bring on our sponsors real quick. Doing a great job, Natalie. We'll be right back.
Not everybody is an 8 to 5 Monday through Friday type. At CNS, we have employment options for the way you want to work with our flexible scheduling program. Flexible scheduling is designed to fit your lifestyle and allows you to be in control of your schedule. CNS offers insurance plans upon employment. Celebrating 45 years of staffing, CNS Business Services.
Say yes to CNS.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
While I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
All right, we appreciate our sponsors. Jay, tell everybody a little bit about them real quick before we get into this next segment.
For sure. CNS Business Services, they have been around for 45 years in that mid-Missouri area, taking care of people, especially when they are looking for jobs and they're looking for their next opportunity. If that is you and you find yourself needing flexible scheduling and you're looking for a company that you can align your core values with, reach out to CNS Business Services. This is not their first time in the rodeo ring, and they can definitely get you connected with the right people and put you in a place that you are going to be happy with. Please reach out to CNS Business Services. They will take care of you. And then obviously, so thankful to the Missouri Army National Guard. This is July. We just released our patriotic issue, and we are so excited to have partnered with the Missouri Army National Guard and have them represented in this magazine. But if you have that calling, if you have that inkling that you want to serve your country to make a difference, it's less than 1% of the population that actually takes that calling forward. You can be a part of that. Reach out to the Missouri Army National Guard, and they will help you find the career and job of your choosing. So yeah, we absolutely love our sponsors. We couldn't be here without them every week.
That's
So
right.
thank you.
And Jay, you always do such a great job with that. And really quick, Natalie, I want to ask you, do you feel intimidated at all by all this equipment that this guy's got? I mean, he's got the microphone, the cool earbuds. You should see he's got lights on the other side of his computer.
Oh
And
yeah.
Well,
Maybe just a little bit,
yeah. So what
no
I'm
one's
thinking,
intimidated by
but no,
this
no, no, no.
face, Dad.
But it
That's what I
inspired
have
me.
to.
It inspired me. I wanted to add one more to our extreme game, and that is to have you, Jay, sitting right in the center court underneath the net with all of your really cool video equipment, kind of doing
Okay.
play-by-play and just being
Okay.
involved in the whole thing.
Okay.
What do you think,
Well,
Natalie?
people,
That'd be good?
shoot me with
I think
arrows.
that's a
Got
great idea. Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Might just need a
Perfect.
protective bubble.
I do need a bubble. Thank you. That would make me loosen up a little bit.
Awesome.
I got all tense just thinking about it, Dad. Come on.
All right, good. Hey, kick us off in segment 2.
All right. I would love to dive into archery. Obviously, you've been doing that for a very long time. You said you got started when you were quite young. Couldn't even pull the the bow all the way back. I thought that was a very cute story. So kind of explain to our viewers, even myself, about the competition and like the scoring system. I'd love to hear how archery works.
hmm So archery's actually, I think, the only sport that we have. It's not MISHA, so it's not the Missouri High School Athletics Association or whatever. It's done through NASP, the National Archery in the Schools program. So they don't have classes or anything like that. It's just all the high schools competing against each other, all the middle schools, all the elementary schools. So when you go to the tournaments, they have everyone there. Like, you might be a senior in high school and you might be shooting with a fourth grader right next to you, which is really cool to see. Like, just like archery is huge now. Like, it's grown so much, so it's really cool to see just everyone there. So when you go to a tournament, you shoot a practice round at 10 meters and then 3 scoring rounds, and then a practice round at 15 meters and 3 scoring rounds of 5 arrows each. So the total score is, well, the perfect score would be 300. So then however many points you get out of 300, that's your score based on the rings, the like 1 through 10 rings on the target. And that's a normal bullseye tournament. And then they also have 3D tournaments where we shoot at 6 different animal targets at different distances. So we have turkey, coyote, bear, antelope, deer, and ram are the normal ones.
I just put that up there real quick because it said that you shot your best score 290 out of 300.
Out of 300.
That is awesome. You only missed 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous, Natalie. I would like to see that. It'll go then maybe. Okay, we need to change the game up now. Archery with volleyball coming from the side and golf crossing it. That would maybe mess her, because 290. Come on, 290.
It's just gonna make her focus more. She'll hit 300.
I know she'll hit 300, and she'll say that ridiculous game. Get out of my face. Okay.
So, what's your favorite? Do you like the target shooting, or do you find that 3D animal shooting one to be more fun? Just kind of curious.
It's kind of gone back and forth. This past year, I think I was actually shooting better at 3D because the year before I kind of had this mental block thing where I couldn't, like, I would not be able to get all the way through my shooting process before my fingers just let go when I was looking at the normal bullseye target. So with the 3D targets, that helped me not get so focused on that and stuck in my mental block. So because the aim points are all different for the 3D targets. So I liked that better. But yeah, it kind of goes back and forth. I think either if I was missing either one, I would miss both of them, so.
Very cool. Very
That
cool.
is good.
So you stay active all year with archery. Kind of talk to our viewers about your practice schedule and how you prepare for those meets.
So we start practices usually at the beginning of November, basically right after fall sports season is over, because a majority of us are, dual sport athletes involved in other stuff. So once fall sports season is over, we start practices. We do at least 2 to 3 nights a week for a couple hours. Actually, not always nights. It's, a bunch of different times. We do mornings, early mornings, late nights, right after school sometimes. Basically so that everyone has practices they can go to, because we're all involved in other stuff too. So practices start at the beginning of November, and then usually the first meets are mid to late December, and then run all the way through. State is at the end of March, the state tournament, and then nationals is in May usually, and then worlds is in June. So it ends up being like 8 months at least.
Wow.
The whole season. So yeah, definitely kind of a marathon.
So I want to go right into this next question about that. I mean, it's repetitive techniques. I mean, you have to focus on a lot of different things. You're breathing, um, obviously keeping your eyes open, unless you're just that good. I don't know. I'm just saying. But you've got to work on a lot of repetitive techniques in order to be able to keep that consistency to get 290 out of 300. So tell us a little bit about that, and what's the most exciting thing about competing in that sport?
Yeah, so I really like the repetitiveness actually, because I don't know, it's kind of how my brain works, I guess. Like I can control it. It's, everything that you do in your process, it affects how the arrow goes. I don't know, it's kind of like math almost in a way. So I like that part of it, but it also is a challenge because you're doing the same thing over and over. I mean, we mix it up at practice, sometimes we shoot from the top of the bleachers and we put stuffed animals on top of the targets, or whatever, mixed it up all the time. But it's a challenge to keep focused throughout the season, because you shoot like a 290 or whatever, and then you think, oh, I got this, and it's easy to stop focusing on all the little things that you do that got you there.
Yeah.
So you have to constantly stay focused on your process and what you're doing.
That's great. So that, I'm just seeing that game planner coming out and putting different animals, getting up on the bleachers. I mean, you're just trying to make it more challenging and interesting. That's that game planner in you, isn't it, Natalie?
Yep.
All right, Jay, we got one more question before we get to the speed round and to talk about that tease I mentioned with Mr. Ryan Olson.
Very cool. So, real quick, before we get to the speed round here, Natalie, I would love to know what's ahead next year for you with all of your sports.
So, just basically just trying to finish strong. In volleyball, we're gunning for another district championship. We won it my freshman year, and then we haven't gotten it the past 2 years. So we wanna get that one. It'll be a challenge, but we wanna get the district championship. And then archery, I wanna really focus in, and my goal is to place up high at the state tournament and even nationals individually, because they give out scholarships for that. And then hopefully our team will be high up there again too. We've got a really strong senior class this year. I think we've all been
very good,
in it for a long time.
Yeah.
And then golf, just want to keep getting better. I mean, it's always a process, and I'm fairly new, so just enjoy the ride, keep working at it.
Good answer. That's awesome. Looking forward to seeing what you're going to do this next year. But right now, I am looking forward to how you are going to answer these questions in the speed round. And Jay, you know what? I figured out we've got to come up with some kind of an intro to this as far as uh, theme music. Maybe you doing a little bit of a different song or dance or whatever it is that you. I don't know, but we're going to just
I
go
don't
with
know
this
what.
tonight. This is Jay Gill with the speed round. Dun dun dun. Go ahead.
Boom, boom. Yeah, Dad, I don't know what you want, but I can dance a little bit for you, no
Got it.
problem.
Got it.
Look, so the speed round, the whole goal is just for people to get to know you a little bit better. And so we're just looking for one word, maybe one sentence answers. And so I'll try to not make them too challenging. But yeah, it's just for the viewers to get to know you. Does that sound fair?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Let's do it.
So, as you can tell, I am definitely a food man. I love to eat. So, I always like to start off. I have to know, what's your favorite after game snack or meal?
Um, I gotta go with like Culver's, like cheeseburger, cheese curds. I love me some cheese curds.
All right.
Oh, you are speaking my language. There is
Jay,
nothing wrong with
there's
some
only
Culvers.
Natalie, there is only one answer we've had from one person that has just completely thrown Jay completely off. Ethan Blake said that his go-to snack after a game is a bowl of rice. Just plain rice. Jay
Not even
couldn't
brown
handle it.
rice. I was trying to be like, all right, so maybe brown rice, a little soy sauce. No, white rice. What do you do? What are you doing, white bread? Like, come on, you got to open up your taste buds. Culver's, no, that's good. That's
Yeah.
some good stuff. I like that answer. That's good. If you were a Disney character, which one would you be?
That's a tough one. I watched all the Disney movies, I think Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
always
That's
been a
good.
The
bookworm.
smarts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Bookworm. I
good.
see that one. I was
Good.
also thinking of Merida, from Brave. Might be
Oh,
shooting that
yeah.
era. Yeah. Yeah. I can see a little bit of a mixture there between Merida and Belle for you. I like that. Uh, all right. What chore do you absolutely despise doing?
Man, I know there's one that I hate every single time and I can't think of it. Um,
It's because I'm putting the pressure on you.
um, I'm probably cat litter.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's fair.
Yeah.
that's a very popular answer that people don't like is cat litter. I would have to
Yep. Nope.
totally
Yeah.
agree.
Yep. That's fair. If you could teleport right now, where would you go?
I'd go to Europe. I've always wanted to visit Europe, or specifically like Scotland or Ireland. I don't know. I just think that would be a blast. And their accents, I just
Jay, do you get a Scottish accent? Let's hear one.
Oh, I don't. I mean, I'd have to think of Scotland as Scottish.
There you
Uh,
go.
you're showing me your Merida side,
There you go.
Merida.
There you
yeah.
go. You got it going. All right, good.
Uh, all right. Here we go. What is one thing that calms you down when you are stressed?
Um Honestly, just taking a break, breathing or going to lay down or whatever, and then just praying, bringing it to God always puts things in perspective, I guess, for me.
Yeah,
Very good.
that's good. I like that. What is at the top of your bucket list?
Hmm. Well, actually, a couple days ago, it probably would have been go to a George Strait concert, but I did that last Saturday.
Done.
So
Check.
looking, I guess, new top spot.
Yep, check that one right off. How was George Strait? That's awesome.
Wait. Here's one. You can go to the Rend Collective concert out at the fairgrounds on September 17th. They're coming. They're from Ireland. So,
yes, they
boom.
are.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
They are awesome. You need to come out there. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I'll have to
just
check
put
that
that one on
out.
your bucket list.
Dad, you are the best. At
Shameless plug,
plugging
wasn't it?
everything.
Okay.
Yeah, shameless plugs. You're so good. How was George Strait though? That's awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah. Just all the songs, so good. He just kept it was really long though. They had Parker McCollum, Little Big Town, Chris Stapleton, and then George Strait.
Wow,
So it was like
that
over 6 hours.
yeah, that is a marathon of a concert, but that's
I would have
cool.
needed a nap.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, all right. I've got my last one. When I dance, I look like.
Depends what kind of dancing we're talking about.
Say Bell. Say Bell.
You were at the
Yeah,
George Strait concert. Come on.
Yeah, hopefully when I'm dancing, partner dancing, hopefully I look like Belle. Got a little gracefulness going on, but I don't know. Not super coordinated whenever I'm just dancing by myself.
It's all about the lip bite, just so we're
I'm
clear.
picturing the candlestick. What was the candlestick named in that movie?
Lumiere.
There,
Yeah.
Lumiere. There you go. All right, cool. All right, I've got a couple of them here real quick. So, most unusual thing you've shot with a bow and arrow. Now, you talked about some stuffed animals, things like that. Anything else that's kind of out of the ordinary that you shot with a bow and arrow?
I shot pumpkins in my backyard one time because my mom didn't want to make pies with them, so I was like, okay, I'll go shoot them.
Okay. Jay, remind me not to have any pumpkins out in our yard. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, that's good. Pumpkins. All right. What's the longest distance you've hit a bullseye?
I guess across the gym, not long ways, but from the top of the bleachers all the way across the gym. Yeah.
That's good.
That's real good.
Awesome. Very good. Okay, I have to ask this one. Have you ever Robin Hooded a shot? Got your arrow in there and you hit that arrow with another arrow.
Yes, that happens a lot actually. They're not, wooden, so they don't like stick and like split each other, but yeah, you hit it on the knock of the other arrow and it breaks off the knock. We get broken knocks like several times at practice. Like our coach has a jar of broken knocks and we try to fill it up throughout the year. So yeah.
See, you just got all my creativity really going tonight. In the NFL they have Hard Knocks, they film a series, and I'm just thinking they could film a high school archery series called Broken Knocks. I think we've got something there. All right. Okay, I'm gonna keep moving. What superhero would you create with someone who plays volleyball, golf, and archery at the same time? I've got an answer. But
oh boy.
Oh boy.
What superhero?
Okay, mine's Natalie Sommerer. How's that? But what's yours?
Oh, that's good, Dad.
Was it good?
That's
all right,
so
good.
much. That was so much good Culver's cheese. That was very good.
Cheese curds, thank you.
Yeah. That's a tough one. I don't know.
How about what superhero most resembles you?
There we go.
Probably I would go with Elastigirl from The Incredibles.
All right.
Nice.
Just stretching all over the place, holding everything together,
Nice.
That's a great answer.
It is.
Okay, Jay's a food guy, so I want to know, what food do you absolutely not want to even get near?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes?
Yeah, I've never been able to do tomatoes.
That sounds like a good target for archery to me. Tomatoes.
Yeah. Just get all the anger out.
That's right. Take it out on the tomatoes. All right. Now, this one, because of your faith, I wanted to throw this one out there real quick. If you could be present at any moment in the Bible, where would that be and why? What would that circumstance be?
It's a good question. I would say when the story of Abraham and Isaac, whenever God told him to sacrifice his son, because I mean, that level of faith has always astounded me, because it was God's plan for Isaac to, multiply and populate the earth. And then God said, I want you to sacrifice him. And just to be there to see, Abraham's faith, and then God providing the ram to, take his place.
Especially after he had the promise of having that child, and then to be told to sacrifice him. I mean, that was a big deal. It's like, really, God? That would be you're exactly right. Great faith. Natalie, you have done an outstanding job.
Two quick thoughts. My brain was like, she wanted to go back there because she wanted to be like, dude, don't do it, bro. What are you thinking, bro? Anyway, I was laughing in my head. And then obviously my answer is when Jesus turned the water into wine. Like I've always enjoyed that part of the story. People are like, man, Jesus, we're out of wine. And he's like, well, normally I don't do this, but go ahead and keep the party going. Let's do this. Okay, that's me. All right, I'm sorry.
Okay, for me, it would have had to been Peter walking on water, walking out there, and then boop, down, and Jesus reaching out and saying, "You know what? You gotta focus on me. Let's get up here." So that would have been a good one. There's a lot of good ones, obviously.
Good stuff.
All right, well, Natalie, you have done an outstanding job. And before we close the program, I do quickly want to throw out this to Mr. Jay Gill, Ryan Olson, and then there's a couple other guys, Michael Glavin, and then John Gill, who is Jay's little brother, but is like 6'8". Is that right? 6'7", 6'8"?
6'7", 6'8". Yep, he's my little big bro.
John the Giant, we'll just call it that. But they have started a podcast, and it is called the Man-Child Chronicles, and I actually listened to it. And you have a little bit of Jay Gill here. You get a whole lot of Jay Gill there, along with a lot of other guys. I propose that we have the Man-Child Chronicles come onto this program one night, and when you guys talk a little bit about what you do, what do you think?
Oh, I think we would have a lot of fun, and it would be a very long, funny program. That's exactly what it would be.
And I think we could add a little bit of intrigue to it. If there's some way that Natalie could get into all the different places you guys are, and then just start shooting things at you, that would make so much more fun.
That would be perfect. That would be perfect.
All right. Hey, Natalie, hold on here for us. We're going to let Jay close out the program. And again, thank you so much for being here with us. We'll let him do that thing he does. He's going to make fun of me at the very end. So it's just what he does. Okay.
It's an honor, just so you know, Dad. It's because I love you so much.
All right.
Look, One Nation, we have had an absolute blast tonight. We've been hanging out with Miss Natalie Sommerer, and she is just a totally awesome person. So thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. If you want us to keep bringing you great content, you gotta tune in every Monday night at 7 p.m. We are here, we are live, and we want to keep bringing you awesome people just like we had on tonight. So you know what you got to do. You got to subscribe to the channel. You got to like our post. You got to share it out there for the world to see. And then give us some comments. Give us feedback. We love getting live questions. That way we can answer them right here for you right now. We absolutely love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I'm the co-host, Jay. You all know the host, the Bald Eagle. Thank you guys, and God bless.
Natalie, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. God bless you guys. We will see you next week, and thanks for joining us on the program.